What's up guys, it's the FPL Scotsman here and welcome back to another FPL video, and today we are going to be covering Game Week 20 and looking ahead to Game Week 21. I have just finished watching the Liverpool and Spurs game and I've came straight down to record this video, and I'd just like to say I think that Spurs-Liverpool game was absolutely brilliant to watch. It was a bit terrifying not owning Son and Kane in that game, but as you guys may know, it worked out absolutely perfectly. And it meant I got a really good green arrow this week because Son and Kane blanked. But that was a really good game of football to watch and probably one of the best games of 2021 so far, in my opinion. And I think we've seen the Liverpool we've seen over the past two seasons. They were absolutely brilliant tonight and deserved the 3 points. But yeah, enough on that really. Today we'll be covering Game Week 20. It was a good game week for myself, and I'm sure it was good for quite a lot of people who did some certain transfers in for De Bruyne, and it may not work out for some. But we will cover Game Week 20 briefly and get straight to Game Week 21 and cover what transfers I'll be making and who I'll be starting and captaining, all that good stuff. And also I'm updating you on the watch list, that if you guys don't know what the watch list is, it's in my previous video, basically the players that I think are good players to go for, and there's a lot of players that have been removed from that watch list, immediately after this game week because of some really poor performances, rotation, injuries, etc., and a lot that have been added. There's a lot of players that impressed me this week as well, but more leaving than going in to the watch list this week. So yeah, I guess one more thing is to follow me on Twitter and FPL Scotsman, and also follow me on Instagram. I have just started an Instagram page as well, and I'll be pretty active in that as well. So let's first of all get into how I did this game week. So as I said before, this game week was really good for myself. I ended on 62 points and a green arrow of 90. I think it was 96k to 60k. So it's a nice 35k green arrow, which is absolutely brilliant. I've not had one of those in a while. I've been a bit up and down. I had a red arrow and I had two small green arrows. So now I've finally got a decent jump. So it's good to be progressing a bit, and it's a strong start to the second half of the season for myself. And there was a lot of good stuff about this game week, but a lot of really bad stuff as well. And there was quite a bit of bad stuff in this game week, which makes it quite remarkable that I've got the 35k green arrow. But I presume that's probably because a lot of the stuff that happened to me happened to others as well. And it's pretty clear, as you can see, what went wrong this game week. But I'm going to start in the good stuff. First of all, with my transfer in, Ilkay Gundogan in for Kevin De Bruyne, popped up with 2 goals. Absolutely delighted with that. Came off in the 53rd minute or something, so he didn't get the 2 extra points, but that basically means he's nailed for the weekend against Sheffield United, which is brilliant. João Cancelo finally get the haul that he deserved. We've been talking about him for weeks. I picked him out about 8 game weeks ago, and he's just got me the clean sheet so far, but he's finally popped up for goal and assist, which has been deserved. It's been coming. Then Diaz up to 6 points. Again, double-sided defence, as I was saying. Both got the clean sheet as well. Again, all I really expected from Diaz was the clean sheet, but he still has to go for it, and I know that goal is coming. Stones has had his goals, Cancelo's had his goals. I think Diaz will get his quite soon. Jack Grealish with the 8 points, got himself a goal, and as I say with every game that Jack Grealish is in, he could have had way more. So attacking that Villa side and so good to watch. It's actually, I own Jack Grealish, the forefront of that attack, but I'm scared every time they attack because I don't own one of the other attackers, i.e. Ollie Watkins. They're so good to watch, Aston Villa. So happy with Grealish. Got his goal. He usually only gets assists, but I'm happy he got a goal. And he got the 1 bonus point. And finally, Mikel Antonio with the 5 points, with an assist for Thomas Souček's goal. Again, he hit the post twice. He had another chance as well, and he could have had a hat-trick in that game against Crystal Palace. And Moyes was teasing us after the game, saying, he was telling Mickey in the dressing room that he hoped he was saving his goals for the Liverpool game. I hope so too. But yeah, it could have been way more. So that's more of a bad thing more than a good thing. But you still got a return, which is why I'm including it in the good stuff. And apart from that, really, that was the only returns I got this game week. But as you can see, the Man City triple up paid off. I could have easily went for Son, Madison, Barnes, all that stuff. But I think the City triple up is the way to go right now, especially with the potential of the game week 24 double game week as well. They are essential to have triple right now. So yeah, happy with them. Happy with Gulshin and Antonio. The bad stuff, well, we'll start with Leeds first of all. Dallas and Bamford away at Newcastle, such a great fixture. I thought after the 10-day rest they would come out flying and smash Newcastle. They won the game, but it was Rafinha who stole the show. Bamford didn't get a sniff that game. Got taken off in the 59th minute, which worries me a bit because I feel like that might mean Bielsa maybe lost a bit of faith in Bamford. I hope not, but that could be the case. Stuart Dallas, again, Newcastle finally score a goal. It just happens to be against, Stuart Leeds, and when I'm playing Stuart Dallas. He had a goal disallowed as well, Stuart Dallas, which was very frustrating. So disappointed with them too. If it wasn't for Charlie Taylor, my bench, who's injured, I would probably be looking to move on to Stuart Dallas right now. Bruno Fernandes captaincy fail. No one saw that coming. No one saw the United result coming, to be honest. 2.7 million managers given Bruno the armband. 85% of the top 100k gave him the armband. So him blanking wasn't exactly the worst thing ever. Although it was a bit frustrating that 5% of the top 100k happened to captain Raheem Sterling, who got 11 points. But that didn't affect my rank too much. I still went up quite a bit. Che Adams, again, I'll talk about Souček in a moment, but I decided to play Adams over Souček. And do you know what? I'm not disappointed in Adams at all. I'm disappointed in the players around Adams because I was flicking through the games, and there was a few times where Adams was like through and goal, more not through and goal, but he was in space. No one was marking him, and an easy through ball into him, he would be through and goal and had a few chances. Who's to say he would have scored those opportunities? But I think if his teammates actually gave him the ball and played the through ball into him, we could have been talking for 2 goals for Adams. Obviously, it wouldn't have made up for the Souček haul, but Adams was a massive differential this week with like 3% ownership in the top 100k. So disappointed. Again, he's someone else I'm looking to move on fairly soon. Mo Salah, I just watched that game as well. I thought Mo Salah played quite well actually, and he got a goal disallowed because of a really unlucky handball. It was an absolutely brilliant goal, but Mane stole the show today. But I'm not selling Salah at all because Liverpool played brilliant today. Another day, Salah's the one who gets the goal and 2 assists and not Mane. So definitely keeping hold of Salah. And then finally, Souček and Kilman on the bench. I didn't see the Souček thing coming. So he had 2 blanks in the double game week. I bench him for the more attacking player in Che Adams. And Souček gets 2 goals and 3 bonus points. Nothing you can do, really. I'm going to bench him again next week, and he probably will score again. But, yeah, disappointed with that. Max Kilman with the 6 points. Could have played him over to Dallas, but away to Chelsea. Didn't expect a clean sheet. And B, he's not played in the first team for Wolves in about 2 or 3 games. So how is I meant to see that coming? But we'll get to Kilman in a moment because he might be in my plans for next game week. Speaking of next game week, let's get into that right now. So here is my team for the next game week. At the moment, this is without any transfers being made. So there's a few changes even without transfers being made to the starting 11. First of all, is Johnson in for Martinez. And the reason I'm doing this is because I think what I'm going to do, I'll get to that in a moment in my transfer plan, but I'm thinking of bringing in an Aston Villa defender, even though I already have the goalkeeper, and I think I'm going to play the Aston Villa defender and then play Johnson in goal. That's my plan. It's one of my routes for my transfers this week. I'll get to them in a moment, but that would probably mean I play Johnson with the better fixture against Fulham, who, by the way, haven't scored a lot of goals recently. And, Big Sam, although he's not done well at home this season, I still think he's going to get a reaction at the players after that game against Man City. And I do think Martinez is probably not going to keep a clean. It's a bit more unlikely to keep a clean sheet against Southampton. Although if he does, I have the cover and Matt Target if I get him in. So I'm happy to play Johnson this week because he's got a better fixture. If Target isn't a transfer this week, Kilman will play because he just played in the starting 11 in the last game. If he's benched, Dallas comes on. Triple Man City, Gundogan, Diaz, Cancelo, happy with those guys. Cancelo at the moment, the armband's on him if I don't get Kane or Son. Obviously after Kane's little injury, I'll get to that in a moment, but if I do not get Kane in, Cancelo will be my captain this week. Or Gundogan, not too sure which one. Diaz, happy to own. Gundogan, 2 goals in the last game, got rested, happy to play him. Jack Grealish, Southampton's a good fixture for Grealish because Walker-Peters is injured and Grealish operates on that left-hand side, so I think he can cause a lot of havoc for that Southampton defence. So this is actually a potential captain option this week for Grealish, but not going to risk it. Mo Salah, West Ham away. That's going to be a tough game for Liverpool. West Ham have been really good this season, good defensively, but with the Liverpool team I saw tonight, I have a feeling it's going to be difficult for West Ham, more difficult than it would have been a few days ago. So yeah, Salah, I can see him getting goals and points in that game, but it will be a tough game for Liverpool. Same can be said about Bruno Fernandes. What I will say though is Arsenal, they have been playing well, but they haven't played a top side Arsenal on their recent run of form, so I wouldn't really get too hyped about them just yet. And I think United's a good test for Arsenal. And I think United are really going to get a reaction. Always going to get a reaction at the players for this match. And I think Bruno will probably do well, but again, I don't want to risk the captaincy on him this week. And then up front, it's probably the bit I'm a bit nervous for, to be honest. Bamford might not play because he got subbed off. He might play, and that doesn't mean anything, but it's Bielsa, which probably means Bamford is out of contention now, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Even if Bamford does play, Leicester away, I can't expect a goal from him in that game. I don't know. I just can't see it. Antonio, I can expect a goal from. Liverpool have been a bit shaky defensively, and I think Antonio's a handful for defenders, so I'm excited to see how he gets on this week. So I'm definitely playing him. And Che Adams, lastly, good option this week. He's not a good option this week, let's face it. He'd be the one I'd transfer out for Harry Kane if I got him in. Again, Adams, he's just so frustrating because when you watch him, it's like he wants to score. He's getting in the decent areas, but it's just not falling for him at the moment. So if I don't get Kane, he will play, but I think I probably will get Kane if he's not injured. So yeah, as I said before, Martinez on my bench might not happen in the end. Souček bench might not happen in the end. I think I might play him over Adams, to be honest, if I don't get Kane. Stuart Dallas, I can't trust a Leeds clean sheet at Leicester. I can't trust the Leeds clean sheets anymore, to be honest. And Charlie Taylor is injured. So at the moment, this is my team without any transfers, but I will get into my transfer plan just now to show you guys the 4 different routes that I'm looking to do for this game week in terms of transfers. So this is my transfer plan for game week 21. There's a few routes I can go. I made this up before the Spurs Liverpool game, so this is not taking into account Harry Kane's injury. But I'll treat it as though Kane will be available for Brighton. He might not be, and I'll get to maybe what my alterations would be if he is. But the simple one would be Che Adams to Harry Kane, no hit, and that'd be absolutely fine. That would mean I would not have a replacement for Taylor, which means I would have to play Kilman, and if Kilman doesn't play, I'd have to play Dallas, which is definitely not ideal. Which is why my second route would be Adams to Kane, alongside Taylor to Chilwell, Justin or Target. Probably Matt Target because Villa have the games in hand and the double game week down the line potentially. And they have okay fixtures as well. So yeah, Target would probably be the one. Route 3 would be Adams to Kane and Bamford to DCL. So I would play Kilman, hope he starts, and then I'd also, instead of getting Target in, I would replace Bamford, who's a bit of a mixed bag at the moment. He might not start. He's off form. For Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who plays Newcastle this week and then plays Leeds next week, and very likely has a double game week in Game of 24 with Man City. So DCL's a good option this week. Number 4 would be Adams to Kane again. You can see the trend here. And Salah to Son. But I've looked at that now. I've just watched the Liverpool game. And Salah, that probably won't be one because Salah was really good tonight. And then 5 Adams to Kane, Salah to Son, and Taylor to Chilwell. I think route 4 and 5 for me now, after watching that game against Spurs, is not going to happen because I'm not going to get rid of Salah. It was probably going to be Adams to Kane. I might look to find an alteration to get Son in this week if Kane is not available, but I watched the second half there. Without Kane, Son was terrible. He really was. So I'm not sure if I'm banking on Son to do anything without Kane. I think Son relies on Kane holding up the ball and playing it in behind the defence and getting them going. So I'm not too sure about Son this week if Kane's out, which probably will mean I'll probably roll the transfer. Made the defender transfer and that's it. Or I go DCL and the defender transfer this week. It will definitely be interesting to see how Harry Kane is. I do hope he's okay because it was a transfer I wanted to make this week. But yeah, we'll see how he is. He was running fine towards the end of the first half and just got randomly taken off. So I hope it's just a precautionary move from Jose Mourinho and Harry Kane's okay. But yeah, we'll see in the coming days how that gets on. And yeah, that's my Game Week 21 transfer plan. So that is going to be the end of the video. That is my Game Week 20 review and Game Week 21 preview. I will be active on Instagram and Twitter, so if you have any questions or captaincy questions or anything like that going into the next game week, please drop it in the comment section below, or hit me a comment in my Instagram or my Twitter, which is at FPL Scotsman, and I'll be back next Sunday night, I think. Next Monday, maybe. I think that's when the game week ends, at the weekend. But yeah, I mean, 60k this now. Going up and up and up, and let's hope it stays the same. I'll see you guys later.